This edition of Mac Voices is sponsored by Smile, the makers of world-class software like PDF Pen for Mac, PDF Pen Pro for Mac, PDF Pen for iPhone and iPad, PDF Pen Scan Plus for iPhone and iPad, Text Expander for Mac, and Text Expander for iPhone and iPad. Learn more about all their great products at smilesoftware.com. And by MacVoices Magazine, our free Flipboard magazine that brings you some of the best Mac, iPhone, and iPad productivity tips on the web. High in signal, low in noise, just like MacVoices, MacVoices Magazine includes information on how you can get more out of your Apple technology. Subscribe at macvoices.com/magazine or search for MacVoices Magazine on Flipboard. Welcome to Mac Voices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, every time we talk to our guest today, it seems like there's just more happening, more announcements, more cool stuff. And I have an idea that's kind of what we're going to hear again, which is not a bad thing. I'd like to welcome back Nick Mattingly. He is of Switcher Studio, and he always has cool stuff to talk about. Nick, it's good to see you.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Nick, I've lost track. You guys have so many announcements. You guys are so connected in with so many things that are going on. Video is just getting hotter everywhere. And we are talking about iOS-based video. That's probably the really big thing. And Switcher Studio is right there at the center of it all.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We have Switcher Studio as our core product. You can create an account through our website. First 7 days are completely free, and use that same account to log into any iPhone or iPad and basically use it as a video switcher. So you can do multi-camera video, graphics, overlays, screen sharing. It's the whole package. And one of the things we're going to talk a little bit about today is our new product called Switcher Go, which is going to be launching very soon. And it is a free flavor of Switcher that will be compatible with Facebook Live and YouTube Now. And one of the reasons that Switcher Go has come about is with Switcher Studio, we've seen there's two different types of live video. There's more than two, but there's two distinct types of live video. There's kind of the premeditated, event-driven productions, which is what we typically think of when we look at streaming or live broadcasting. There's this thing Thursday at 7 o'clock, and we're going to set up and we're going to be there, and it's a concert or it's a sporting event or it's a meeting. And that's where a lot of our users are really taking advantage of Switcher Studio, is capturing what's already happening and doing that in a way where they can elevate the quality and make it look better and more engaging, so that people can experience it in real time, but also go back and watch it later. In the past year, since Meerkat's come and gone, Periscope, Facebook Live, there's all these new platforms. There's a more spontaneous kind of off-the-cuff level of production that we're seeing in live video, and it's not as pre-planned, and it's resulted in a different type of content where a event might be an hour, 3 hours long. A production that you do where you just pull your phone out and start talking and engaging with your audience might be 15 or 20 minutes long. It could be 5 minutes long, and it's not a great experience. It's gotten better. I mean, the fact that we can do this now is incredible. That the bandwidth, the infrastructure, that these devices, the cameras are all capable of allowing us to do this type of production is awesome. It's the coolest thing. But there are people that want more, and we're trying to kind of bring these two worlds together. And when you look at Switcher Studio as a creation tool, which is what we're doing, we're trying to help people make better video. We saw a need, and so we're trying to take what we've learned from Switcher Studio and make that kind of phone first experience better.
Wow, so many questions to ask here, Nick. So Switcher Go is going to improve that ad hoc kind of experience that I decide, okay, I'm having dinner in this great restaurant and I'm going to share it with everybody. That's a terrible example, but it's what we'll go with. So what do you bring to the production part of the experience so that it's easier for me to actually do that and give the viewers something extra extra special or better or what?
Yeah, so we can't really make it any easier. It's already easy. You pull out your phone and you hit a button in Facebook or Periscope and you're live. But everything's automatic. That native experience can be somewhat limiting. And so what happens if you're a brand or a business and you want that represented in the content that you're making? So with Switcher Go, launch the app, you can go into record only, but you could also sign into Facebook or YouTube and have that one button easy experience. But from there, that's really where it starts to get interesting. So rather than just pointing your phone at whatever and everything being automatic, you have full camera control, white balance, exposure, ISO, depth of field, zoom. We've even tweaked. So the two that I think most users will be able to immediately see an improvement is with a lot of camera apps, there's the pinch to zoom feature. That's what we're all used to. That's not great for viewers in a live experience because it's really jerky. So with our zoom and Switcher Go, it's an accelerated zoom. It's how quickly you go from one point or another. So it eases in and out based on how fast you move the slider. Another feature that's in this camera control is depth of field or focus. So you could emulate a digital SLR effect where the subject is in focus and the background's blurred out, or vice versa, and really improve the video quality. And it's not an iPhone 7 specific feature. We're doing it in the software in a way that it should work across all iOS devices. So that's the first step. And a lot of it's nerd stuff most people don't need, but just being able to tweak your photos or your video and not rely on the automatic settings is immediately going to have a big impact on the quality of your production. Then we're taking, sorry, go ahead.
Well, just one quick question on depth of field. So do I have to use depth of field? And I'm asking because in an ad hoc live situation, I may not want to have to decide, okay, I'm going to focus on my wine glass or my steak or my companion. I may just want to stick it up there. But it also would be nice to be able to focus just on the wine glass or just on the steak or just on the companion. So is it something that can be toggled on and off?
Right. So all of these settings are auto by default. We do have the pinch to zoom feature, but the slider is always on the screen. So it's there and it's easy to get to. It's right where your thumb is. So it's easy to use that kind of ease in and ease out. The other features, you'll be able to dive in when or if you need those and turn them on or off.
Okay, got it. And as far as this being a bunch of nerd stuff, that's why we're here. So go for it.
The next piece where we start to elevate the production is allowing you to add photos and pre-recorded video. So this is a new one in Switcher Studio. So not only are you able to use the built-in camera on your device, and you have the standard flip between the front and rear, you could add an image or any video that's saved to your phone that's in the camera roll. And so just by bouncing between these elements, you can start to have a much more dynamic, engaging, interesting production. Imagine a coffee shop owner starts with a photo of their business, and then they have a couple photos of their specials for the day, and they have a pre-recorded video of an interview with a customer, and then they're able to cut to the camera, and they can do all of that with a device that's in their pocket. You don't need anything else. So with Switcher Go, you can use the built-in camera, and you can add up to 4 photos or videos that are on your camera roll. We also have a notification center on the top of the screen. So this is really important. It shows the battery, the storage, and the VU meter for the volume, which are all really important for video, and you don't see those in a lot of products. So that's right in the top corner of the screen. It's always there, easy to see what's happening and know if you need to talk louder or if you need to do something different. You can also use external microphones with Switcher Studio. So it's not just the built-in microphone. If you connect a handheld mic or a shotgun, or you paired a Bluetooth headset, any of those are going to work with Switcher Studio and Switcher Go.
Okay, so I can't help. I got to go back to it for a second. At the outset, you sort of just tossed off the word recording. So is this not just a tool to go live, but also something that you could use to replace, say, Apple's camera app or video camera app?
Yeah, you don't have to broadcast. It's there. It's super easy to do, but it's just as easy to record only. So if you're doing something for personal use, or if it's something that you need that breather, it doesn't have to be live. It is an awesome tool for producing content that you could edit or upload later. You can't really replace the built-in camera app because it's baked into the menus. You swipe up. It's just there. It's super easy to get to. Right. But I think Switcher Go is a really good alternative. And even if you're not looking to go live, it's a great way to record better content because of the camera controls, because of the ability to add those other elements and assets and make it more dynamic. Another
and just I have to throw in, based on my own personal experience, just having the VU meters on screen is huge, because that way you have some idea of what kind of audio you're getting. And if you've used any of this stuff at all, you know that, okay, I may have, say, a shotgun plugged in or a handheld plugged in, but it may not have gone in the whole way, or there may be a problem and you're not getting any audio. So that's absolutely huge. Forgive me, there's so many questions I want to ask, Nick. On the pre-recorded videos or photos or whatever, is that something you can just do at the beginning of your broadcast, or is it something that you could drop in the middle of a broadcast?
Right. So a good flow would typically be to kind of prep those before you start streaming. Right. So you have a bin inside of the app where you can kind of preload those assets, where you don't have to go search for them in the middle of a stream. So you can kind of build a queue and have those ready. Now you can go back through the menu and switch those out, but it's a better experience to kind of prepare those elements ahead of time, and you have the flexibility to do both.
Got it. Okay. Last thing, and then I'll let you run again. But if we're doing the recording, what are we recording in? Are we getting in the case of the iPhone 7, the full 4K, or are we recording at something lower because of the broadcast?
Right. So we're not currently supporting 4K in this product, but it does HD recording. If you're streaming, the recording could be dependent on the quality. So if you don't have a great connection, it might have to downscale the video to be able to get it out. There will be an upgradable version of Switcher Go in the future where you'll have the ability to do both, where you could stream in a lower quality and record it in full quality, where you can use some of the cloud services we developed with Switcher Studio, like screen sharing or custom RTMP, where it could work with Periscope Producer. We can talk more about that, and that will be coming later this year, early next year. We're building an ecosystem where, if you look at Switcher Studio, it can do a lot. You can really do a lot, but not everybody needs multi-camera. Not everyone needs screen sharing. So we're trying to give an entry point where people can get a taste of what's possible, but also bring these two worlds together of high quality event production and this more organic, spontaneous recording from your device or streaming live. And the really cool thing about Switcher Go and Switcher Studio is that they work together. So if you're at an event where someone's using Switcher Studio to produce an event, multi-cameras, graphics, overlays, if someone is using Switcher Go at that event, that's available as a source inside of Switcher Studio. They could work together. So someone that's producing an official video for an event could tap into the crowd and crowdsource content. And granted, that's with permission, and there's a few logistics to figure out to make sure that all works well. But we're laying the foundation for this experience and making it possible for people to do video for themselves, to make it on the devices they already have, but also to have something that looks really great and is part of the shared experience.
Okay, I've interrupted you enough, so just keep on going now. I'm sorry. It's just there's some things that I admit there's some personal interest things, but also some places where you look at some of the offerings that are out there now, and they fall short in this area or that area, and you end up not using them because they become frustrating.
hmm Feel free to slow me down. There's a lot of information here, and I'm still figuring out the best way to communicate it. So if something's not clear, let me know. Um, One of the really cool wrinkles of Switcher Go is that you can pair another device. So if you are running Switcher Go and you have it on another iPhone, another iPad, you could actually replace the camera that you have with that other device. So you could frame up a shot, set it on a tripod, and run everything from your pocket, where you could control the camera settings, you could queue up your photos and videos, you could start and stop the broadcast, but not be limited to shooting whatever's at arm's reach. So it's not really multi-camera, but it's allowing you to use that remote camera capability in a way to improve the production. And so that's something that's available on launch with Switcher Go. And it's not required. You don't have to use it. But imagine you're doing an interview, and instead of running across the room to set up a camera or squinting to read the comments, you could frame up a camera and start and stop the broadcast from your pocket.
Wow. That's really interesting. That's really interesting.
The piece that we're really excited about, it won't be available at launch, but later this year we're going to be introducing a clip or a highlight feature. And what we found is with live video, it's long form. And when we look at events, they typically are an hour to 3 hours long. The sweet spot on Facebook Live, we're still trying to figure out, but it's somewhere around the 15, 20-minute mark is kind of the norm, at least for now. When someone starts a live broadcast, they sometimes kind of wait to build this queue. They want to make sure people are watching before they really get into the meat of the production, because it's so engaging and interactive and people are asking questions. Sometimes it can take a little bit longer to say what needs to be said, or to get to those questions and answer those, and really pull those viewers in. And it's really great when you're watching it live. It's an awesome experience to have this real-time exchange. But if you go watch the replay on a lot of these videos, if you weren't a part of that initial experience, it can be hard to watch, because you've got this 15-minute video where really the gist of the content could have been said in 2 or 3 minutes. And so with the clip or highlight feature in Switcher Go, you'll be able to mark those moments as you're shooting. You'll know when something is right or when that was special. And it's going to make it really easy to see those clips where you can trim them and share them out after your production. So if you wanted to post a clip on Twitter or Instagram that's not the full form video, you don't have to dig through the whole production. You don't have to copy it to your computer and splice that out. You'll be able to do all of it right inside of Switcher Go.
Smile is sponsoring today's edition of Mac Voices. In case you don't know, Smile makes some of the best productivity software for the Mac, including PDF Pen, available in various flavors for Mac and iOS, PDF Pen Scan Plus for iOS, and Text Expander for Mac and iOS. Get all the details at smilesoftware.com. Text Expander is Smile's way to help you get more done by typing less. By creating snippets, blocks of text or code, or whatever you use frequently, you can fill them in simply by typing a few keystrokes that you assign. So, typing 3 lowercase d's might expand to today's date. Or type 3 or 4 keystrokes and have it expand to your full name. I have a friend whose last name is 12 characters long. By typing a simple 3-character code, she can fill in her complete name easily and quickly. Text Expander might be my very favorite productivity app for a number of reasons. First, all you have to do is launch it, and it's available to all of your programs and other utilities. Second, it takes literally seconds to add a new snippet, and that snippet can be as simple as you wish. An email signature, a block of boilerplate for a contract, whatever you need. Third, you don't even have to think about what you type frequently. Text Expander watches what you type and makes suggestions about what might benefit from a snippet of its very own. Fourth, Text Expander can do so much more. Things like shortening long URLs automatically, and invoking JavaScript, AppleScript, and shell scripts, if you're into that. Add images or graphics just as easily as you do text. Fifth, Text Expander isn't just about the Mac. There's a version of Text Expander for iOS as well, and you can sync your snippets across both platforms so they're available everywhere, all the time, to keep you productive. There's even a Windows version, just in case you're trapped on a desert island with only a PC. Recently, Smile added fill-in snippets for Apple's dictation and Portuguese localization, as well as public snippet groups for the Mac version and snippet keys to the iPad and iPhone versions. And that's the sixth reason I love Text Expander. Smile is constantly expanding and improving it to make it even more valuable to you. As you can tell, I could go on, but we need to get back to the show. Before we do, though, I want you to visit smilesoftware.com right now and download the free trial version of Text Expander and find out how much time and effort it can save you. Then, buy straight from Smile at smilesoftware.com and take full advantage of everything that Text Expander can do for you. That's Text Expander from Smile, the makers of world-class software, at smilesoftware.com. Thanks to Smile for being the longest-running sponsor of MacVoices. That's ambitious to say the least. And with your track record, I know it's not just ambition, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of me launching the app. Okay, so again, also to be clear, so at least at launch, or at least for this version, I'll let you correct me on that. There's no subscription for this like there is for Switcher Studio. It's just an app that I buy, and all I need is a Facebook account or a YouTube Live account, or YouTube account, excuse me, to do it.
Switcher Go is completely free.
Wow.
Free download. You'll be able to record great video, and you'll be able to sign into your Facebook or your YouTube account to go live on those platforms. You can do up to 4 photos or videos that you'll be able to add with that. If you are doing live video, you will have to create a Switcher account. It's part of how we make this a good experience in managing those integrations with Facebook and with YouTube. So if you are going live, you would have to create a Switcher account recording. You could just bypass that process and get straight into it. We will be introducing a kind of upgrade option within Switcher Go that will remove that restriction of 4 sources, where you can add as many as you want. So if you have a bunch of sponsors or a lot of content, you'll be able to kind of storyboard those productions and have those assets available. And then a lot of the value is in non-app features. It's the things that we've built with Switcher Studio as part of this ecosystem. And that would be the custom RTMP, which is a part of our cloud services, where you could register for Periscope Producer and copy and paste those values. And now you could stream these really dynamic productions on your Periscope account. Our screen sharing application, where you could bring your computer in. We're working on a Windows version too, so it'll be Mac and Windows, and that'll be something that's available in the upgradable version of Switcher Go. The clip and highlight feature will be able to continue to improve that experience and start automating things and doing things in the cloud. So that'll be something that's available there as well. And we're never going to be done with this thing. We're just going to keep adding to it and making it better. Another one that we're working on is cloud image management. So if you wanted to add a photo or video, instead of scrolling through the thousands of pictures that are probably on your phone, you could upload those assets online through your Switcher account, and then they would show up inside of the app.
Okay. I want to rewind to something that, again, you just toss off these things like they're no big deal. So you said this is a free download.
Switcher Go is a free download, and it will be available very soon. We're just going through the approval process.
Okay, so really by the time this is out, it's possible it could be in the App Store. and if it is, I'll have a link there, folks, and if not, just go and check it out in the App Store. So to get started with this thing, it's a totally free download. That's kind of amazing.
Yeah, we're hoping to help people make better video, and we want to be a part of that conversation. So Switcher Go is a great way to get started. And if you want to do more, we have more. If you want to learn more about the product, you can go to our website at switcherstudio.com. We'll be doing a major update to the website in the coming days that will have a lot more information about this new product. We have also built out a knowledge base for how to use specific features. If you get stuck or you need help, a lot of those questions are already answered. So as a free product, we can't really provide the same level of support as we do in our other services within Switcher Studio, but we have resources for that, and we tried to answer a lot of those questions on the front end. So you'll be able to find those on the Switcher Studio website. If you need to create your account for Switcher Go, you can do that directly in the app, or you can do that on our website as well. And if you ever decide to upgrade or do more, then you can do that at switcherstudio.com.
Excellent. Okay, well, we're done because that just blew my socks right off. But I know, seriously, that's not the only thing that you have going on. There are a couple other things that are very, very interesting as well. They may not rise to the level of Switcher Go at the moment, at least for my interest. But what else is going on with you?
So we launched our first version of Switcher Studio over 2 years ago, and there are a lot more years under the hood in getting this thing to where it is. We went 2 years bootstrapped and self-funded, and we just closed on our first round of funding so that we can work on these new products, so that we can raise awareness and bring more visibility to what we're doing, so that we can provide better support. One of our first hires was a support person to make sure people have a good experience. We have also started a reseller program. So if you look at the live video space, there's a lot of great free solutions like Periscope, like Facebook Live, like YouTube. There are many, many more. But there is also a level or tier of premium services for businesses or organizations that need more control over their content, so that it only shows up on their website, or so that they can manage their own ad inventory, or choose to not have ads, or password protect their videos, or they need certain features that are specific to whatever it is they do, whether it's a religious service or sports or concerts or organizational and business there's so many platforms out there that have their own little flavors and tweaks specific to those audiences and what people need on the delivery side for getting video to their viewers. But creating video in the first place is still a challenge, and that's a problem we're trying to solve. And so we now have a reseller program where those type of streaming providers could basically have their own version of Switcher that's optimized and automated to work with their platform. So they could bundle it or sell it with their services as a way to tear down the barrier of entry on the creation side for their customers. And so our first partner for this reseller program is a company called Boxcast. It's boxcast.com, and they have their own special version of Switcher. It's called Boxcast Switcher, that you can log in with your Boxcast account, and all of your events show up there, and you can manage everything from their website. Now, Switcher Studio also works with Boxcast via this integration. So you could use Switcher Studio directly from our website and still have the flexibility to use it with other platforms and take advantage of some of our cloud services. But it's a bundled deal that's really a win-win, not only for us as organizations, as Boxcast and Switcher Studio, but for the customer as well, and taking the creation process and making it a very turnkey solution.
Well, I mean, again, it's just I find it really interesting that you're kind of going wide and deep with the Switcher Studio and with the services you're offering. So you're not just concentrating in one area and trying to say that's it. And I think, first of all, I think it's very smart, because you never know where this beast is going to go, which direction it's going to turn. I was just sitting here thinking and listening to you that the first time that you and I met this way via Skype, one of the questions I asked you was, why you were focusing on the iOS devices and not the desktop environment. And it really has served you well, because that seems to be the way the world is moving. And if you can achieve putting the sophistication of some of this stuff into my iPhone or even my iPad, you're so far ahead of the game. As much as I love my MacBook, the iOS devices are infinitely easier to work with in the field.
Yeah, as long as Apple stays in business, we'll be in business. So I think I think we're in an okay spot.
Yeah, don't think anything else is going to change there. And there are several hundred billion reasons why they won't go out of business
Right.
anytime soon. So we have the service. We have Switcher Go. Anything else going, or did you actually find some time to get a little sleep?
Can't get anything done when you're sleeping.
Yeah, I know that.
So Switcher Studio just keeps getting better and better. We'll have a new update for Switcher Studio before the end of the year, where we'll take some of the things we're experimenting with in Switcher Go and introduce those into the professional product. So we've reimagined the UI and the user interface in Switcher Go to be kind of a phone first experience. And we found some interesting ways of being able to get to certain settings and manage those. And so we're going to kind of start mashing up some of those things in the professional Switcher Studio product. Video insertion is something new within our ecosystem. So being able to add a video from your camera roll during the production. Previously in Switcher Studio, you'd have to use the screen sharing tool to be able to play back videos and rebroadcast that or stream that as part of your production. So we're playing around with that in Switcher Go, and we have a really good solution, but we want to see if there's any kinks before we start tearing out some of the really foundational elements of Switcher Studio. So that's something we're working on adding into Switcher Studio right now, and that'll be available in the next update. And the cloud services, we've got a lot of things that we're building out there to make that better. One of them that we talked about earlier is the cloud image management. So being able to upload photos or graphics online and have those show up inside of the video mixing software during your production. So you don't have to manage those from your device or send them through iCloud or Dropbox, or it's a mess. And we can really make that a much better experience for our users. And so that's something that we're really excited about. But we've created a monster. It's a lot of fun, and Switcher Studio just keeps getting better. We're really excited to introduce Switcher Go to give people an entry point into making better video, and to use this in a way where we can kind of bring these two worlds together, where someone using Switcher Studio could potentially tap into users as they start to use Switcher Go.
If you've created a monster, then that casts you in the role of Dr. Frankenstein. Is that what you really intended, Nick?
I'm not really sure.
Yeah. Hey, it sounds amazing. I can't wait to get my hands on it. And so I'm going to ask you one more time to repeat the website just to make sure folks can go there, check out all the information on all this great stuff.
Yeah. So if you want to learn more, go to switcherstudio.com. You can create an account and get full access to Switcher Studio, our professional product, for the first 7 days. No credit card required. So you can create an account on the website and get started using Switcher Studio immediately. It's already available, and there's a lot of cool stuff there. Switcher Go will be available very soon. It's a free download in the Apple App Store, and you can learn more on our website at switcherstudio.com. And if you want to make better video, check out Switcher Studio and Switcher Go.
Nick, thank you so much. It's always good to see you. I sometimes when we sit down to talk, I never know exactly what all you're coming out with or have done, and it's like, wow, this is just amazing. And we sort of skipped over it, but congratulations on the funding round too. That's great, because I'm sure that's a bit of a monkey off the back. Now you can concentrate more on getting the engineering done as opposed to having to make the finances work.
Yeah, it's good stuff. John Wilmoth is one of our investors. It's been really involved in what we're doing, and he's been a great asset. And we had a strategic partner that came in as well. There's a company called NEX Streaming, NEX Streaming, and they make an Android post-production editor called KineMaster. So think like Final Cut or Premiere for Android, and they've done it really, really well. And they're working on bringing it to iOS. So we're already talking about ways to get the two of those to work together, where something shot in Switcher Studio could show up in KineMaster.
Yeah, I don't have an Android device, but I have played with KineMaster a little bit and seen it in action, and it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Android's hard. There's a lot of fragmentation in the marketplace. There are a lot of different processors and cameras, and it can be a challenge to develop in that ecosystem. And so they figured it out, and we're really looking forward to being able to work more closely together as we grow and start doing more with Switcher Studio.
Great. Well, you're welcome back here anytime that you have something you want to announce or just talk about. It's always fascinating, and your enthusiasm is infectious. So don't lose that above all others.
All right. I'll have to make sure that I don't lose the shoes. I'm not wearing them today, but
I wasn't going to bring it up, but you did.
I know.
Now you have to explain to everybody what you're talking about.
I'll send you a picture. We can put it in the post.
All right. Good to see you, Nick. Thanks so much.
All right. Take care. Thanks.
Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is Mac Voices. I hope you're a quarter as excited as I am to get your hands on Switcher Go. This sounds like it's going to be fantastic. Until the next time, and as always, thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes, links to subscribe, and to connect with Chuck on Twitter, Google+, Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo, SoundCloud, the MacVoices blog, the MacVoices Dispatch, our weekly newsletter, and on MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard that helps you do more with your Apple tech. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.